Pia haya watatu, alafu the next part itakuwa Aragwe. Mkebe ndio kuja tunayo waziri. Ndio waziri, wewe unapewa chakula na waziri. Ya privilege.
Itakapoa.
Sasa weka tu na Aragwe tukaenda nayo. Chakula wageni wetu wanapenda kuelekea sijui kama utakuna kikao na maombi na utakuwa na mezani. Okay. Anyo ni telefoni kwa nyanya. Na Iraq wenyewe tunaenda kufunga mranga hii. Lakini changa kama na pia ni bere kwa ile cha watu wa habari. Basi sisi tunataka
asante. Mimi ni MC wa area na lazima niseme moja mbili. Bwana asifiwe. Ndiye nimechaguliwa kwa miaka 15. Ile school. So wakati utachakula kila siku kama hii. Kwa hiyo
niarka ngala.
Nimepata madawa hapo nikipita inauzwa mimi nikiona. Hapo Ruaka saa hii mimi napita naona watu wanauza madawa ya kulevya. Tumejaa polisi hapa Karudi police station wamejaa. Pale Dedero wamejaa. Pale Kachie wamejaa. These drugs in Ruaka. Yeah? You must deal with them. I cannot, the president and myself cannot accept that foreigners are selling drugs day and night in broad daylight na nyinyi mko hapa. Haiwezekani. I want nikitoka hapa you mount an operation tonight. Mimi nataka nisikie majibu kesho. And we also want to call upon, especially the Ministry of Environment, we are going to request them that whenever they are designing a road, they should design a road in such a way that they provide a lane for the cyclists, so that they can be able to have a point where they can actually do, not only in Nairobi, everywhere in this country. And I'm sure we are going to reduce the emissions, we are going to reduce the vascular diseases, and we are going to reduce problems which are actually mental. Yuko hivyo? Yuko sawa? Asante sana. So as we move to the last pillar, which is fair diplomacy. Fair diplomacy, as we know in this country, we have several religions, and what we really want to, bring awareness is that we want to build families. We want to come up with what you call family values. Family values. Once a family is well endowed, is actually well founded on serious ground, then the community, then the country, then the world becomes solid. I know we have a problem at the moment. We have seen many things happening with families. We have broken families. We have families we are having people who are, having, you have a family, you have children not actually doing the right thing. We are now actually having a community or a generation that is not going to be well. And therefore, we want to, through Mama Doing Good, fair diplomacy, we encourage that we have strong families. And I'm sure when I see the young people who are here, I see young people who are around here, who are in the next, maybe by December, others will be next year, they'll be calling for us, we come for weddings. Yeah? And I think there is already one there on the other side. So we want to build strong families. But I will be surprised, and I won't attend a wedding where we have a man and a man getting married. Or a lady and another lady getting married. I think that one hiyo ni shetani, si ndivyo? Mnasema namna gani? So ndio tunasema let us build, let us have family values, and we move on well. That is actually what we are talking about, fair diplomacy. Finally, I want to say that with the fair diplomacy, we also want to encourage as we support ourselves. Whenever there is a problem, like for example drought, let us also come together. Let us support those who are vulnerable. Let us bring children who are also on the streets, sometimes assist them where we can. And therefore, Your Excellency, I want to thank you for supporting us through Mama Cycling. As we move on, we are going to have in June another very important function of cycling, and therefore it will be international. You are now starting, and I'm sure all of you will be involved, right? So thank you so much. As we start the tree planting, moving on, as we actually move around together, we thank all of you. Participate. We are going to meet, we shall be meeting as Mama Doing Good. We are going to participate together, we partner, and we move on. So tell anybody, your neighbor, Mama Doing Good. Say again, Mama Doing Good. And say, I'm doing it the right way. Mama Doing Good. And doing it the right. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Asante sana na Mungu awabariki.
Let's give our CEO a better clap. You know, our CEO passion for the environment is palpable. You can feel it in his voice. He lives it every day, and I know, Dr. very soon, we will add to our greetings the question, how many trees have you planted? So after you greet somebody, you'll check with them, how many have they planted? And the reason he's that passionate is we cannot, none of us is safe from the environment. None of us is immune from the effects of the environment change. And all of us must do something towards it. And Asante sana Daktari for the various things you're doing at the office. Of course, as our CEO said, our friends from South Korea are a little bit ahead of us in non-motorized transport. And I know we are going to have a lot of lessons to share from them. And at this point, I want to call His Excellency, the Ambassador for South Korea to Kenya, His Excellency Yeo Sung-jun, to come over and greet us and say something small. Welcome, Your Excellency. Let's give him a clap. Let's give him a better clap as he gets here. Karibu sana Balozi. Welcome, sir.
Honorable First Lady Rachel Ruto, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Korean Ambassador Song Jun-yo. Actually, I'm not well prepared to deliver a speech for today. Anyhow, I'm honored to be here today celebrating International Women's Day and participating in the Mama Cycling Program, which aims to promote cycling as a healthy and sustainable mode of transport. As the Korean ambassador to Kenya, I'm delighted to witness the growing collaboration between our two countries in promoting gender equality and environmental conservation. As many of you may know, Korea has come a long way in transforming its landscape through reforestation policies. Just a few decades ago, our country was plagued with bold mountains and barren land. However, with the help of the government and the Korean people, we have managed to reverse this trend and create a greener and more sustainable future. I believe that cycling and tree planting are two simple yet powerful ways in which we can contribute to environmental conservation. Cycling reduces carbon emissions and improves our physical health, while planting trees helps to combat deforestation and create a better living environment for all. Therefore, I am pleased to announce that my embassy will donate bicycles worth about $200,000 to the Mama Cycling Program in June. This donation is a token of our commitment to promoting sustainable development and empowering women. In conclusion, I urge us all to continue working together towards a greener and more sustainable future for ourselves and for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give a clap for our ambassador. And thank you for your commitment, for support to what Her Excellency the First Lady is doing. And we are very, very glad to have you here, and we welcome the gesture. At this point, I want to call representing the Chief Conservator of Forests, our Deputy Chief Conservator, Charity Munyasia, who will give her remarks. And after she's done, she'll invite for us our PS for Sports and Arts, Jonathan Mweke. And on giving his remarks, he's going to invite for us Her Excellency the First Lady. So, Deputy Conservator, this is your time. Let's give her a clap as she comes to give her remarks.
Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Mama Rachel Ruto, the PS Sports, Mr. Jonathan Mweke, the Ambassador, South Korea, Yo Sang-jun, CEO AR, distinguished guests, the cyclists, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. After such cycling, we need to be more lively. I take this opportunity to say I'm here on behalf of the Acting Chief Conservator of Forests, Mr. Alexander Remakoko, who could not make it because he is doing a very serious assignment at Kenya Forest Corps in Rondiani, where he is overseeing the recruitment of this Kenya Forest Service Rangers. That was said by His Excellency the President, that we need to employ forest rangers to assist us in the conservation of our forests. And we are recruiting the 2,000 rangers, and that is why where the Acting Chief Conservator of Forest is. We want to say we welcome you to Karura Forest with the Friends of Karura Forest. This is one of the forests in the country. out of the 2.59 million hectares of our gazetted forest areas, Karura Forest is one of them. And Karura Forest is 1043.1 hectares, and we co-manage this forest with a community forest association called the Friends of Karura Forest. This forest, for those who lived in Nairobi area, you know you could not come to Karura Forest. You feared to be marked, to be killed, and it was a den for robbers. Those who used to cycle, to travel through Kiambu Road, you remember you could not go to Kiambu after 6 because you will be taken and brought into Karura Forest for your vehicle to be cannibalized and for you to be done anything. But we thank God with the partners and the Community Forest Association and the partners like East African Foundation, East African Breweries Foundation, and the Absa Bank, we were able to be assisted to fence this forest and to make it safe and secure for the use of Kenyans. And to date, from when we fenced the forest, we had 300 visitors per month, and now we are at 50 to 60,000 visitors per year. We are very grateful for this collaboration. Karura Forest is an example of how co-management of the forest can be achieved in this nation, and as Kenya Forest Service, we are creating more green spaces for the forests near the urban areas, and also we are co-managing all our forests with the communities living near the forest. Excellency the Vice Lady, Kenya Forest Service is committed to ensuring that we achieve the 30% tree cover by 2032. This was a target that His Excellency the President brought forward from 2050 to 2032. And we are so grateful as Kenya Forest Service because you are the first person to demonstrate this action by adopting part of Kakamega Forest and planting trees. We are so honored and we are so grateful that as the mother of this nation, you have shown the Kenyans how to lead from the front. For today's purpose, we are very happy that we chose cycling and tree planting to mark the International Women's Day, and more so in Karura Forest. As KVS, we want to congratulate you for choosing Dr. Chumo as the CEO of this Mama Doing Good project. Mama Doing Good program. You've seen it. He is passionate, and even from the forest sector, we know him as a no-nonsense person when it comes to environmental conservation. We want to congratulate you for having the right person at the lead for the Mama Doing Good. You'll not go wrong with Dr. Chumo. We want to say, as Kenya Forest Service, ours is to plant trees. This 30%, we'll achieve it by planting trees in the government forest. We have the 350,000 hectares. We will plant in the mangroves. We have 14,000 hectares to restore. We will plant in the plantations. We have 54,000 hectares to be restored. And even as the harvesting is starting, we will harvest and plant wherever the harvesting is going to be done sustainably. And we are also going to have the restoration of the degraded landscapes where we have the 2 million hectares in the agroforestry, in the farms. We'll ensure that all over the nation we are going to plant the trees, and that is where we are very happy. We are increasing the rangers and the forest officers in this nation to lead in this process. But the biggest percentage will be achieved by private people planting in their farms. We have the target of 750,000 hectares for plantations in the farms, and we believe the Kenyans are up to task and they will achieve this target. We are so grateful, Our Excellency, that today the Mama Doing Good has come to Karura Forest. We all know that it is the women of faith, it is the women of environment and climate action, it is women of socio-economics who are going to lead this nation to move forward. We want to congratulate you because we know, even when we talk about planting trees, if the woman is not taking care of that tree, the tree will not survive. If the business, the woman is not seriously involved in it, at times it doesn't survive because the women are able to see the small details which men, without due respect, may not see. Nasi kupenda kwao. That is how you men were created. And that is why God created for you a helper in the name of a woman, to be seeing the details. And in these details, we will make sure that we achieve our targets for this nation. We love the men of this nation, and we thank you for leading us from the front. We cannot be women without you men, because you make us move along the journey and to achieve. So mine is to say, as KFS, we are supporting, we are committed to the cause of the mama doing good and to achieve the 30% tree cover. In addition to the Kakamega forest site adopted, as I explained when we were out, we are removing eucalyptus, but slowly and systematically, so that we replace the Karura forest with indigenous trees. When we remove part of it, be assured that part of it will create a mama doing good corner. And with this, we welcome you to be cycling in Karura forest, where we have 30-kilometer trail for the cycling. And the cyclists here, you are welcome to cycle in Karura forest. And with those few remarks, I want to thank you most sincerely for choosing this venue to be Karura forest. You are welcome again and again. At this juncture, I also want to thank the COAAR for choosing to have the hospital next to Karura forest. You have really added value to this Karura forest by having the hospital next to Karura forest. We are very grateful for that. For Korea, we run a lot and we'll keep learning. At this point, I want to call upon the Principal Secretary Sports, Mr. Jonathan Mweke, to come and give us his remarks. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of South Korea to Kenya, CEO of Mama Doing Good, Dr. John Chumo, the Deputy Chief Conservator of KFS, Charity Munyasia, cyclists, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm delighted to join you here as the world prepares to mark yet another edition of the International Women's Day, scheduled for tomorrow, 8th March 2023. This important day dates back to the 18th century, when women's suffrage movement in the UK strived for the right of women to vote in parliamentary and general elections. Those brave women used all possible means at their disposal, including arts, debates, propaganda, protests, and arson, to fight for their rights to take part in electing their leaders. And in 1910, an International Socialist Women's Conference was organized, from which an annual Women's Day was proposed, with the aim of promoting equal rights, including women's suffrage. The following year, the first International Women's Day was celebrated by over 1 million people in Austria, Germany, Denmark, and Switzerland. The struggle for gender equality is one that still goes on and is far from being achieved. Through such initiatives spearheaded by the First Lady herself, we acknowledge that there is still so much to be done to ensure the dignity and respect for our women, who have for generations been left behind by retrogressive cultural practices, male chauvinism, and outright discrimination in access to opportunities. Here in Africa, for instance, majority of the urban and rural poor are women who also form a huge bulk of the uneducated segments of our societies. Women have borne the biggest brunt of civil wars, famine, disease, and climate change. The United Nations has over the years been wary of the numerous hurdles in promoting global gender equality and accordingly established the UN Women, which has celebrated National Women's Day with various themes. This year's theme, dubbed Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality, recognizes the impact of the gender gap on broadening socioeconomic inequalities. But the inequalities also exist in virtually all sectors of society, including sports, such as cycling and other motorsports, where women have largely been excluded by either default or design. Indeed, data available to us points to the skewed nature of importance placed on the various men and women's sports, with facts favoring the men's sports. For instance, it's a fact that we have more men than women occupying leadership positions in sport federations and in coaching, as well as in officiating roles. We will do all we can to address these disparities by being intentional in demanding for more inclusive representation in federations, in line with the Constitution of Kenya. Equally, we will be coming up with programs that enhance equal development of both men and women's sports. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, taking cycling as an example, we realize that although cycling is a fast-growing sport, there are still significant gender disparities.